Hey everyone, my name is Nicole and this is Life as a Law Student. Today we're just doing a quick check-in on what the first couple weeks of law school have been like, and then I'm headed out to a party, so let's hurry up and get going. WashU's been pretty good so far. I've been taking contracts, property, torts, legal writing, and legal research. The last two are basically just one class split up into two sections. Basically like, hey, you spent 21 years learning how to write a really good paper, that's great. Throw all of that in the trash because if you write like that, it's a bad paper in law school. Basically, legal writing is very dry, extremely redundant, and you're literally told to write like you're talking to a 6-year-old, even though you're talking to some of the most educated people in the country. I had a memo that I had to write last week. It was an ungraded assignment just to kind of gauge where we were at with our initial learning and reading of the chapters in our textbook. And I thought it went pretty okay, but then I sat down with the professor and he's like, oh yeah, this is good and that's good, but here, and here, a 6-year-old would be super confused, so you need to rewrite all of that. And I'm very grateful for that critique because obviously I want to do well, but at the same time, it's like, it's so frustrating because that's like literally the opposite of everything I learned in college and high school. And so to be told that everything I know is completely irrelevant and inapplicable in my chosen profession is a little bit upsetting, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I think that the method for legal writing has really translated into the way that some of my professors teach their classes. For example, my contracts professor moves really slowly but deliberately through the material. She tells us all the time that she wants to focus on the foundational skills and knowledge of contract law. So what is consideration? What is a promise? What is a bargain? These super elementary concepts you can kind of pick up in like a couple minutes of reading a definition, but we spent 3 weeks on them because if you don't understand those, the more you build on them, you're not going to understand how we get to the conclusion of the more complicated issues. My torts professor, on the other hand, takes a very different approach, and it's interesting how different everybody is. I guess I always knew that there were different teaching styles, but my conception of law professors was pretty much all the same. Like, pretty much how my contracts professor is actually, I think, met my expectation of what someone would be like teaching me the law. But my torts professor takes a different approach of kind of like skipping through the rules or skipping over them and just being like, well, you can read them, let's just worry about application, which leads to, frankly for me, quite a bit of confusion because it's hard to just not be told them and then expect to apply something that I haven't been told. So I'm having a little trouble with that, but I think as the semester goes on, I'll get used to that teaching style and figure out what I need to know so that I can apply it later. My property professor, on the other hand, I think hits a good balance for me. He assigns the reading that will teach us the rule, briefly covers the rule right at the beginning of class, and then the rest of the class is about application to the cases we read or different hypotheticals. I definitely still don't get them all right, but I at least feel like I sort of understand what we're talking about. So that's classes. As for social life, like I said, I'm going to a party tonight. I don't plan on drinking a whole lot, if at all. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I think it's super gross. Like, there are 2 very specific bottles of wine that like a couple sips of that very particular wine I like, but other than that, everything I've tried, I'm just like, oh, no thank you. But the reason I'm going to this party is because I feel like I need to meet some more people. It's in a pretty cool place over by the baseball stadium, and I was told that there was a free dessert bar, and I have no qualms about a free dessert bar whatsoever. Speaking of dessert and food, I guess, I've been trying to eat healthy. Haven't necessarily been succeeding, but something I have been doing for one whole week as of filming this is working out every other day. So I've gone to a TRX class, which I had no idea what that was before, and it was intense. I went to what I'm just going to call, for simplicity's sake, an aerobics class, and that killed me. But I actually liked it. Like, it felt like something that I would be able to do once a week. I don't enjoy the feeling that my body has for like the 4 days following, but I'm excited that I can even do something like that for 50 minutes and live to tell the tale. I also went to a Zumba class and a step class. The step class was way too much for me probably not going back to that anytime soon. I think it was a really good workout, but I literally can't walk, which is a problem because my law school is 5 stories high, and I'm going up and down those stairs all day long for my different classes. My locker's on the 2nd floor, my classes are on the 4th floor, and the elevator is way too slow. And then I went to a Zumba class, which I might have already said. But the Zumba class today was really fun. I'm so not coordinated. I'm like literally so horrible at Zumba. But at least it's fun. It's still like a way to do cardio, especially because I'm not going to do the step class anymore. And hopefully as I go more, I'll learn more of the moves. Our instructor was really funny. He was this older gentleman named King. I don't know if that's his actual name, but I hope it is. I'm so sorry for like the horrible quality of video right now. I started filming when it was light outside and I did not realize how dark it was gonna get, and I don't have a light right there. Maybe I should get one. Oh, I was elected as the 1L representative for the Christian Legal Fellowship. I applied to join the board, basically just as somebody to help clue them into the 1L schedule and advertise events to the 1Ls. I also kind of surprised myself and joined the Women's Law Caucus, which I think I had a very different perception of than is actually what they do. I was drawn into the first body meeting because they offered free food and it was Italian and it was very good. There's been a lot of free food. It sounds like they do a lot of like really cool networking events with other women or faculty and bring in speakers, and that all just sounded really fun to me. And they promised more free food, so can you tell what I'm motivated by? Like I mentioned in my fears of going to law school video, I do think it's going to take a while for me to find some really good friends, but I've joined a couple Bible studies and book clubs. I found a church that I am looking more into before I fully commit to going there, but I'm going to meet with the pastor this week. And that's something that I'm excited about because that is, again, something that took me a really long time to do in Wheaton. I would love to get that locked down a little quicker this time around. And I've been talking to my family a lot, have not been doing as great of a job talking to my friends just because it's been so hectic. There's just always a list, I think, in law school of like 10 things that you have to do. And so it's been a little hard for me to prioritize keeping in contact with people. These YouTube videos too, I think that I have the time to do them, but the actual when of filming them is going to be a little difficult. Like I'm filming this right now on a Friday night, which obviously lighting-wise was a terrible idea. But it's difficult because some days I don't get home until 8 or 9 at night, and that's not gonna work. And the morning, there's just no way. I'm not enough of a morning person. And then the afternoon, I'm at school. And then the weekend, I don't have any Wi-Fi at my apartment, so I have to do all of my downloading of videos to edit, and then my uploading of videos for YouTube at the school. Yeah, we just gotta still figure out some scheduling things, but I think we are getting there. I'm gonna try to plan a little bit better, hopefully doing some more week-long kind of content. I'm playing with a couple ideas right now. As always, if you have ideas or things that you want to see, I have gotten a couple, and thank you for those. Keep posting those down in the comments below. You know, like, talk to each other and share your experiences, whether they're taking the LSAT, applying for law school, being in law school, post-law school. I don't know who's watching these. I would love to hear more about what you guys are doing, and a great way to get involved in talking to me and talking to each other is definitely down in the comments below. I think we're gonna call it a night, but thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please hit that subscribe button, and the bell notification button really helps me out, hopefully helps you out, and I will see you guys next Monday. Have a wonderful week, and God bless.